How's it going, everybody? Adam here. Welcome to my next game creation series in Unity. This one being dubbed as Pokemon Freedom. That name may potentially change in the future, but as for now it will be known as that. Now before I get into showing you what I've done at the moment, which is just setting up not even a basic scene, but just getting very basic character controllers working. But as I said, before we get into that, I want to show you where this game came from and where it's going to head. Now, if I was a little bit prepared, it should be on the screen. This is what the game used to be like. 2D game made in RPG Maker XP. It's very interesting, I suppose, is a way of saying it. But this game I've been working on for many years, although the current state of this game I was working on for quite a while. And as you can see, there are a lot of maps. I think, about 66 maps. Down to 65 because one was just a mush everything into one. It's pretty much a very story heavy based game. It has included combat though, which in the terms of 2D, not very well, and there's a lot of things broken with this. As you can see, there's a couple of texture things missing. Again, I haven't opened this project in a long time, but I now want to bring it over into 3D. So this is just giving you a rough idea of what things are looking like. Just gonna go through. This is one of the more recent maps that I changed, saying to spread trees out a bit and give them more varied in color. Although it's very bad map design, regardless. This one here goes very poorly linked things too. Yeah, so this map isn't done, or hasn't been redone, because it's changing to this abomination of a stretch thing here. But anyway, so this is a Pokemon game, as the title would have it, and I'll just play a little bit here for you. Don't mind the text. But yes, we go around here, we could run, although I didn't get anything into the UI, so that's all still default things. Yeah, we have little events. I can pick this piece of paper up and it'll activate an event, give out talking to people, or Pokemon in this case. But yes, so that's that. And if I go back over to Unity, I can show you what I have so far. So at the moment we got a basic little cube. We can look around the cube, we can move with the cube, and while moving I've got my mouse hidden at the moment. Let me bring that back. Click on the camera, just turn that off. So we can move the character by just using arrow keys at the moment. And if we hold forward and turn the mouse, you can see the little cube or player will move forward until we fall off. So that's the very basics of this at the moment. Now I have an idea of where this series is going to go. This one, unlike the other one, might be more, I suppose could say, tutorial based in terms of what is going to be accomplished in here. That's not the one. I'll go through the code in a second. I have a very small mechanics list. This is just what I could think of before starting, because I realized I should probably mention that. So, obviously we have attacking. We want different movement types for land, flight, water, as well as the possibility of underground uses? That's not the right word, but you probably most likely understand my point. So, this game, you will control Pokemon, and you will walk around towns, fields, forests, cities, mountains, and just follow the story. I will be covering the story at a later date of what that will be imposed into. I'm trying to move with the wrong thing. But until then, I can give you a small snippet of what that is at the moment. So, basic gist is there's a small town. I'm going to go back into RPG Maker. So there's a small town. Oops, that's not how you zoom out. Small town by the name of Ponario, which is a combination of Ponyta and Lucario. The reason it was named that is, well, in this area, if we just scroll down, not that one, this one. Ignore what's down there. But this is also an old map too, so this is a bit off as well. But before the town was created, a little Ponyta, who is now a Rapidash, was attacked by a evil Pokemon named Weavile, and the group here, or majority of the group. So, actually, we can probably zoom in. I can just list them off. Not that you'll be able to see them. Oh yes. So Pikachu, Raichu, 2 Charizards, 2 Swampats, Blaziken, Swampats, Sceptiles, Ivysaur, and Blastoise have found a unconscious Ponyta. I don't have my sprite right there. And bring her back to health. And a Weavile with his 2 minions come and attack, which then brings to Lucario into the picture, who comes in and saves them, thus the town being known as Ponario. Although, that's how it is at the moment. That's going to change, and then the story just progresses of Weavile wanting his revenge on the town, and then soon the entire island as a whole. So that's pretty much that. What this will progress to is I'm wanting to create this in 3D, as I said before, and just have a lot of fun with it. However, going back into Unity, I'm not going to be going straight into making a fully fledged game that, that's the best thing ever. I'm going to start off with a demo, and what this is going to end up being is a test of different character controllers, types, and whatnot. So, for my movements of here, for the moment I have Umbreon as my land tester Pokemon. I'm going to use, that didn't quite work, a Pidgeot, that way, as my flight tester. And for the moment, since water isn't too much of a genre itself in the game, but I might be using Empoleon, Leon, as my water Pokemon to just test things out with. And underground, potentially maybe someone like Sandslash, or anyone else that I can better think to fit the part. Now obviously, Pidgeot's the one that can fly of most the separate types, but the others will have experience moving in the other areas except underground, so I'd obviously land at water, and land. So with that in mind, we'll jump into the code for the moment. So this series, like the other one, as I did say before, it was going to be more of a tutorial series, but not everything will be shown. So I've already gotten ahead and just gotten a basic code running. So you see I'm starting to implement jump. I just realized that I had my add force in the wrong area. Let's just do that. But that's fine, because if you didn't know, a rigid body will use its forces to move it around. It's the best way to do it. Or, in my case, the way I've been taught the best way to do it. And that should be always done in fixed update. Anything else can be done in update. Or in case of a camera, late update. But anyway, quick run through the controls, and I'm going to tell you how these are going to eventually change in the future and whatnot, and then I'll get into more say classes and mechanics that you can expect in this series. So, First off, we get an input of a vector 3 through the horizontal and vertical axes. We use the input normalize to get a input direction, which we use for rotating the player in certain directions without touching the camera. So pushing A at the moment will turn the character to the left, and they will go that way. So that's what this code does. It gets the inputs, rotates them. To be honest, I kind of just watched some of the tutorial for this just to get it right. I have a little bit of trouble with moving characters around generally. It's not my forte, but again, that's why I'm doing this series, to better further my skills and hopefully teach some other people things. Teach people things. Great English structure for me. Then at the moment, that's not actually, it does work, but a ball for running, which just gets this, whether the left shift key is down. Then using this really bad if statement. So that's essentially saying, if this is true, do run speed, and otherwise return walk speed. And we times this by our input, or input direction. Either one could have been used by magnitude, just to see if it's not 0. Because if we go down here to our add force, we're using our transform.forward, which is also bad code, which I will fix right now actually. We should have a transform up here. My transform. And at the start, we should be setting my transform to equal get component transform. And then wherever we have transform in the code, we should be using my transform. Except for there, obviously, because that's to do with a set camera. Because basically actually that's also kind of bad. That could probably also be a get component. Everywhere that was just saying transform would basically do this anyway. And if you're doing that a lot, or have a lot going on screen, especially if you're going down to mobile devices, that it's adding lag that you don't need. So I should probably change that too, but for the moment I won't. And then current speed is just setting a smooth damp between the current speed, the targeted speed. If we just actually go like this, it's not actually going to tell me, but there's more other things we could add. But these are just as a reference. The speed smooth time is the amount of time, taken to change between the speeds. So that's that. Our camera, as I explained before, this little code here determines whether we can see the mouse cursor or not. So in our late update, this is to make sure that our camera moves after the player and it gets the correct position. Otherwise you can get jitters and stutters and whatnot. So we have a pitch in yaw, which is controlled by the mouse Y and X respectively. Times that by mouse sensitivity to either speed it up or slow it down. In this case it is actually speeding it up. And then we clamp the pitch, which between a maximum height -40, 85, which will be one of the things that needs to change here. And put that into an input, getting it normalized for no reason, because I had other code here beforehand. Doesn't do anything. Why is that even there? My bad. I was messing around with stuff and was getting confused. That's what that was. So we smooth damp our current rotation with the pitch and yaw again, with the difference. Smooth the velocities and the times to set our current rotation. Set our transforms all our angles to that rotation, and move our camera's position back. For the target's position by our looking forward, times it by a distance, which will just allow, zoom in, oops. So it'll snap it here, quite close to there. So it'll be inside inside the little cube, and then it'll pull it back. Just put that back. Now if I go back to the code, so as I said, this clamping height will change depending on the Pokemon, because each Pokemon will have different heights of where you want to rotate around. So at the moment, you can indeed, it does actually clip through the floor. So we'd want this to be sitting at about there, not to go into the floor or anything like that. But clamping height should be fine. Then in the player input, obviously speeds will change and whatnot. So that's pretty much that. I may have forgotten something there. Apologies if I did. And also, like my other series, if I explain something that you don't quite understand, or if I gloss over something, put that in the comments, and either myself or someone else will get to you, try and explain things. If you would like to see a certain tutorial on something, you can also ask for that. Except for today, I went through things. If I make a script and don't properly show all of it, or if I just tell you, hey, I made this, you would like to see how that was done, you can also let me know. Most of the time I will be showing you all the code that I have done between episodes. And now would also be a good time to mention that this series will be coming out on a Sunday for me, and potentially Saturday depending where you are. So that's that, and obviously it will also be happening once a week, just like my other series. So with that, unless I've severely missed, oh wait, I have missed something. Models, assets. Unlike my other series, this one, for testing purposes anyway, I'm not going to be creating all my own assets, speaking for the Pokemon wise. So there's a very good, what do they call it? It's down here, someone else say it down here, ripping, that's right. Asset ripping site called, well, depending which one you want, but this one is Models Resource. There's also Spiders Resource. This one has a list of, not all of them, but the majority of the Pokemon, their models. I'll try and open this one. So just nice and cool. I won't be using these straight from the box, as to say, for one. I think I activated a little bit of something there, or I'm not sure what I heard. I will be editing these a little bit. I don't like how their eyes are just flat shaded to their face. So a little bit of tweaking will be done, probably. Because, again, I would like to create my own ones of these, but my modeling skills for organic things isn't entirely up to scratch. Like, the face kind of just looks a little dopey, in my opinion. Anyway, so I've been using these. Otherwise, if you guys are wanting to help out at all with models or something like that, that's all good. Go for that. Again, I'm not asking you to go out of your way to do that. It's just there. Trying to think. Is there anything else that I had to go over? So I've gone through basic, generalized story, I suppose. It'd be a very general story. Gone over a little bit. Have I really gone over gameplay? I suppose I have, but I haven't. Just generalized. This is more of an again, like the other one. Sorry to keep comparing it to my other one that I posted yesterday. This is more of an introductory episode. Just wanting to explain things. Next week we will start getting into the nitty-gritty of it. Alright, yes. Mechanics and scripts that I wanted to get into. So I did say before about these wrong thing. This one. Into basic, they're not even mechanics, they're just movements and whatnot. But mechanics I'm definitely going to be doing really? I'm not sure if they are mechanics. No, they're not really. But scripts-wise, seeing as I'm using C#, there's going to be classes, lots of classes. So I mightn't be showing those. What I will definitely be getting into is creating my own little, what are they called? Components here. Creating my own different things to help one way or another, whether that would be through map creation, classes for the Pokemon, so we can just go in there and add my own little script, not script, but a class for the Pokemon. I suppose, in terms of mechanics wise, possibly, Pokemon, as for the moment, Pokemon are going to be having a list of 4 moves, which would most either be attacking move, a couple attacking moves and like an evasive move or something like that. Potentially further down the line, I would like to either set it up for each Pokemon only has a set number of moves, or even way further down the line, give them most of their moves, if not all of them, and just that requires animations for everything. So that's why at first I'm just sticking to the 3, possibly 4 types of Pokemon. Anyway, unless I have severely missed something, I think that basically does it for this introductory episode. Trying to think of anything. No, not really. I think that's everything. Well, I hope you get a sort of understanding of where this is going, what I want to do with this. Also, in the description down below, I will be posting a link to a website called Poke Community, where I will also be posting this series and updates for this game in general. Not necessarily series, just the game. That won't be up straight away, so that might take a day or might take a couple of days for that link to first get there, because as the time of this recording, I haven't actually made the post yet, or the thread, so that'll be there if needed. And yeah, that basically does it for today. Next episode, I think I might try to get some more environment stuff done, with just in Unity itself, just creating basic objects, possibly a terrain. It's the only thing I'm a little concerned about is I'm not sure how I'm going to make the map just yet. Whether I use an actual terrain for that, or a terrain would be way easier though, wouldn't it? Or just have assets to create fake maps or something like that. I don't know, we shall see. Anyway, again, yeah. So next episode we'll either focus on that or more characters. No, sorry. All over the place. Haven't planned this out too well, obviously. Next week we'll be starting on our classes scripts. So whether Pokemon class, type classes, move classes, or not, we'll try and get a lot of them done and out of the way. And I should have also mentioned earlier on that episodes will generally try to be as long as half an hour at most, but there is potential for 2 half-an-hour videos to go up in one day. And that would be about it. Anyway, I hope this gets someone excited. I know there hasn't been too much going on screen today, but this project in general, was one of a couple that I have been just dying to create for a long time. And seeing as the 2D doesn't quite fill my needs anymore, I figured this would be a great time to move over into 3D. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. I'm going to stop rambling, and I hope to see you guys next week when we start getting some progress done. And in the meantime, I might even try to get Umbreon model not properly rigged up and animated. If so, I'll include a small little montage of that at the beginning. If not, possibly the week after. But anyway, that'll do it for today. I hope you guys are excited for this as I am. Or maybe not, because it might be just me. But anyway, that'll do it for today. And I hope to see you guys next week. So until then, bye.